My name... Hello, welcome to the Yarn Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all of the places you can find me should be linked in the description box just below this video. Welcome to day 7? 8? 8. Welcome to day 8. Let's do that one again. Welcome to day 8 of the 12 cast-ons of Christmas 2019. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you watched the end of yesterday's video, you will know that my head's not quite in the game today, hence I've already messed up the introduction. But I wanted to get going and record this and see how I get on. So yes, apologies if I'm a bit all over the place. Project 8 for the 12 cast-ons of Christmas, and yeah, definitely more friendship connections here, which I'm super excited about. I am going to be casting on the Vertices Unite pattern, which is a pattern by Stephen West, and it's been on my to make list for ages. My lovely friend Emma of Eldenwood Craft made this beautiful version. I think it was in either in just greys or sort of grey blue tones. You should go check out Emma's YouTube channel. If you can't, then go check out her Ravelry projects page. I'm sure she'll have some beautiful pictures of her shawl on there. And she really inspired me to want to cast this on. And in the end, she actually gifted me the pattern. I think it might have been for my birthday this year. So thank you so much, Emma. So straight away, I am casting on a pattern that was gifted to me by a lovely friend. And I was going backwards and forwards on my yarn choices for quite a while. I have a few skeins of singles yarn that I was going to use, but I didn't have quite enough. And then earlier on this year, I cast on an Evolve shawl, which is a pattern by Joji Locatelli. And I purchased 3 naturally dyed skeins of yarn from Tracy Priestley, specifically for that shawl. And these are the colours that I picked from her shop. And in the end, I didn't really like the way my Evolve was knitting up, so I ripped it out a couple of months ago. I think I did, it might have been in vlog, yeah, I think it was in October, because I did a Vlogtober video where I went through my projects and decided whether to keep or frog, and the Evolve got frogged. So not long after that, we had the Knit Tea retreat in Cardiff in October, and the lovely Fiona of Flourish Fibres was vending there, and Fiona does some amazing naturally dyed colourways. So I figured I could pick up a couple of yarns to go with this to put into my Vertices Unite shawl, and I should have quantities left over, I think, even if I do the large version of all of these. So I will be able to make some more lovely projects. So to go with these 3, I took little samples of each of these with me to the Knit Tea retreat, and Fiona and her lovely friend Angie helped me pick out 2 more colours. So I went for these 2 from Fiona. So this is my 5 colour palette for my Vertices Unite, and I'm so excited about this. My only one reservation is the differences in the yarn. So the yarn from Tracy is quite tightly plied and is a superwash yarn, whereas the yarn from Fiona is a non-superwash yarn. So this one is quite a bit sort of thicker and fluffier and bouncier, but I think that together in the shawl they will probably be okay. I'm definitely going to give it a go and see what happens. These, I can't remember offhand the colourways for these yarns, and I don't have the tags to hand, but I will have some details on a project page on Ravelry in the not too distant future if you're really curious. I do have more of the orange one. It just, when I wound it up, there was, I think I accidentally snipped it, or I made a knot, so this ended up being 2 balls. So I've got to wind these 2 from Fiona, and these are Natural Indigo, oh, gorgeous blue, and St John's Wort with Copper, and these are 100% wool, non-superwash, hand dyed in the Cotswolds, approximately 420 metres, so they're a really generous skein, these 2. They're just beautiful, aren't they? I'm completely fascinated by natural dyes at the moment, and I've recently joined the Nellie and Eve Naturally Dyed Fibre Club, so I'll chat more about that in the new year. So yeah, I need to wind these 2 up and then I can get going. I probably need to sort of do a little bit of a plan as to what colours I want to go where, which I will try and do this afternoon, and then we'll go from there. So yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this shawl. I've so left this too late in the day, but to show these colours off in their full glory. But look how deliciously huge these cakes of yarn are. So I thought I'd bring you to the beach to update you with how I got on with my Vertices Unite yesterday. It's really misty down here. You can barely see the sea behind me, and if we face down, if I just swivel you, right down the other end of the beach, somewhere here, is the pier. And we just can't see that at all. Really quite atmospheric. There's quite a lot of people down here today, which is quite nice. But I found a quiet-ish spot where I can hopefully chat to you for a little while. We're relatively close to the road though, so there might be a little bit of traffic noise in the background. Before I get to my Vertices Unite, of course, I need to update you with what everyone else out there is up to for the 12 cast-ons. So here we go. The lovely Michelle is working on a crochet cowl. Ellie has finished a project and is about to start a broomstick crochet cardigan, which sounds very intriguing, and has decided that she also needs to make some project bags to house some of these cast-ons that she's been doing, which is a fantastic idea. Now that the in-laws have gone, I need to get my sewing machine back out and start making some project bags again, I think. Emma is a former monogamous knitter. So far she's managed to cast on a shawl, a poncho, a hat and a granny blanket. So yay for embracing polygamy, Emma. I hope you are enjoying yourself. Jane also seems to be blaming me for leading her astray with all of these cast-ons. I will happily accept the blame. She's cast on a shawl, her baby hats, 2 baby cardigans and an adult hat as well, and she's got 2 more projects that are in her maybe list too. So just get them on the needles, Jane. 2 more aren't going to hurt, are they? And then the lovely Angela, not me, another lovely Angela. There are many of us out there. Has been working on her husband's socks, which are a pair of downtown shorties, so they sound like a fun knit. And she also plans to cast on a Drachenfels, a So Faded and a quick cable slouch hat. All those projects sound fantastic. The lovely Emma of Eldenwood Craft, who was the person who gifted me today's cast on pattern, has started a pair of scrappy socks from her Advent minis. And I saw a picture of those over on Instagram and they're looking fabulous. Mountain Pearl said she was binding off that Guernsey that she's been working on while she was watching the last episode. So yeah, well done. It's really nice to get those things off the needles. Haven't had that feeling myself for a while with all of these cast-ons, but I'll get there in the new year. And then Kate says that rather than casting on, she's decided to concentrate on finishing some projects. So she is using #12whips to try and get some of her projects off the needles, which is a brilliant idea. She said she's also planning, along with her sister, to try and make 20 projects in 2020. So that's a brilliant goal to strive for, isn't it? So get working on those whips, Kate. Come on, we're cheering you on. And if you finish anything in the next couple of days, you've still got time to hop on over to the Ravelry group and put in any finished objects into our whip along. So yeah, just a reminder for that. If you are working on your whips, then get those in the thread over there on Ravelry. Tracy has just cast on a wibbly wobbly cow from some Advent minis, and that looks like a really fun project. I might have to add that to my to cast on list for some point in the future. And Tracy very kindly also gifted me the Waiting for Rain shawl, which has been on my list to make for ages. So there's a good chance that that's going to bump one of my remaining cast-offs off the list and hop on as maybe the 12th cast on. We shall see, we shall see. And then Vicky is casting on some mini owls, using up some handspun yarn, which sounds really, really fun. I'm itching to get back to making some little things. I need to make some more gnomes. I haven't made a gnome for a while. And then Rachel is finishing up a pair of gloves and is hoping to cast on a new project on New Year's Eve. So just one more day to go. I hope you get those gloves finished. So that's it for what everyone else has been up to. As you know, yesterday I had a bit of a fuzzy head. I'm out here today to try and clear the last of the fogginess, and it's certainly helping. I've seen some really cute wildlife down here on the beach today that I haven't seen before. Some little wader birds have been trotting around and hopping around, and hopefully I got some footage. They didn't come too close to me, but if I did manage to get some decent footage, that will go in tomorrow's video. Anyway, I'm off the point. I did manage to cast on my Vertices Unite, and I got a fair way through it. It was great, mindless knitting, exactly what I needed yesterday. But first off, a couple of corrections to what I said yesterday. I said that all three of the colours that I had originally picked out for the shawl were from Tracy Priestley, and they weren't. The brown yarn, which I have cast on, you'll see that in a minute, it was a naturally dyed yarn from Hey Mama Wolf, and that was gifted to me by my lovely friend Sylvia, who I've mentioned on the channel a few times before. Her name on Instagram is Rose Garden Cottage, and quite some time ago she gifted me that gorgeous skein of that really nice neutral brown yarn. So that's one thing that's changed since I recorded yesterday. And the second thing is that the project bag that I picked out was not big enough to house all of my balls of yarn, so I've actually changed, and my project's now living in this tote bag, which is quite handy because it's meant I've also been able to chuck an extra couple of things in here for coming down to the beach today. But this is a bag that was gifted to me by Caroline. I am a yarnaholic on the road to recovery. Just kidding. I'm on the road to the yarn store, which is very apt. The bottom of the bag's getting a little bit wet because it's very damp here on the beach, so I'll have to take everything out and dry it out again when I get home, but that shouldn't take long. Small price to pay for a lovely morning stroll down on the misty beach. So this is my progress on my Vertices Unite. Isn't that lovely? So as you can see, I went for the Hey Mama Wolf brown and then the naturally indigo from Flourish Fibres to start my first wedge, and I just love these stripes. They are looking gorgeous. I've managed to get halfway through the increase section of section 1, so I've still got some way to go, but I think that's pretty good progress. I love how neat the edge is on both sides of this section. So cool. There's something about stripes, isn't there? They're just so addictive. You just want to keep going, get to the next one, get to the next one. And I did stay up quite late last night because I had slept for quite a lot yesterday, so I think that aided my progress. And I'm keeping this gorgeous Christmas tree marker, which was a gift from Caroline, Colourful Creativity, in the advent calendar that she made me. So I've popped that in there because that will help me count up the stripes. As I say, this marks the halfway point of the first increase section for this shawl. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm knitting on 3.5mm needles, which is what is recommended in the pattern. I'm getting a nice sturdy fabric. As with most garter stitch fabric, once I soak it and block it out, I think it will become a little bit more airy and squishy. But yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful combination. I'm really happy with that. So I guess that just about wraps it up for today's cast on. And I'm off to have a little wander down the beach. There's billions of seagulls flying behind me. I don't know if you've probably seen them in the background there. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of this misty day. The sun's trying to come through, so I think the mist's going to lift and burn off soon. So I am going to enjoy the rest of my day, and of course I'll take you along with me in the next video when you can find out what I'm casting on next. Until then, I hope that you get to do some of the things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now.